everybody. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're
Daniel and Jordan.
Daniel. They couldn't come up with a name, so they went with their own names. But that's the way our heroes roll, and it's gonna be okay. So sit back and enjoy, and let's welcome Daniel and Jordan. What had to rhyme? The Daniel and Jordan Show.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the greatest show on the internet, the greatest one you've tuned in today, and definitely the greatest one you're going to be tuning into all week. Good morning, Jordan.
I'm a little low energy today, Daniel. Just going to go ahead and put that out there.
Well, you know what? By the end of this, I tell you, you're going to be laughing, giggling, shit tickling.
No, I won't.
I'm going to be changing. You know, what happens is if you surround yourself with that positive energy, it's going to rub off.
I think my negative's going to drag you down.
Not going to happen. Why are you so tired?
I don't know. I've just, this weekend I've either stressed or something, and I've just slept poorly, being by myself, missing Kaney maybe.
A little depressed.
I'm a little depressed.
You know what it could be?
Loneliness.
Is that damn Dungeons and Dragons you stayed up playing the other night?
Oh, yeah. So that new DLC came out, and I've been playing it, and then it's like such a massive open world. Like, it's like a whole brand new game. Last night, I got so stressed because there was so much to do that I just turned it off.
Did you get lost?
I it just kept exploring more and more things to do, and it was like, this is now a job for me to do. I can't do it. So I got stressed and turned it off.
What game is it again?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yes, and I've already been crowned the Elden Lord by being in the original.
All right, continue.
So what's the need of playing the DLC if I'm already Elden Lord?
So DLC is just an extra map.
It's like extra,
extra
dungeons.
World.
Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of world you can go and bosses to fight and stuff.
And you are the Elden King.
Lord,
sorry. No need to offend.
Yes.
So what does that consist of?
Just being the Lord of the Lands.
Interesting.
Lord of the Lands between.
Man.
Yeah. The game's cool because, there's no real story. You just, read item descriptions, and it tells the story of all these gods and all this fighting for power.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
if it involves reading.
I could barely do it.
Especially Elden. That's just a big word. Elden Lord.
Yeah.
It just sounds confusing.
Yeah, I assume it just means elder or something.
So an older
I actually
Lord.
don't really know. Right, yeah. I don't know if Elden means that or not, but that's what I think.
You need to do your research.
Probably.
So Kaney's been gone, 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
A little over 2 weeks.
A little under, but yeah.
A little under. How is things going?
You know what? Turns out she does a lot around the house.
Oh, yeah.
God, dude. Because every night it's I think, all right, I just need 30 minutes to get everything wrapped up and tidied. It takes me over an hour to get everything just kind of dishes done and dog let out. And no, I don't sweat. What are you talking about?
When you do it, are you sweating?
No, I don't sweat. I'm wearing a robe, shirtless underneath it.
Low effort, it sounds like.
I have my slippers.
Oh, my goodness.
I just got out of the shower. Yeah, just doing the little house things.
It is so funny because sometimes, Whitney will be gone for the day, and I'm like, I'm going to clean the house today, while she's gone. Granted, the kids are helping me, but I'm like, all right, guys, Mama's gone. Let's knock out the downstairs. Cadence, you do this. I got this. Eli, you stand there and try to keep your finger out of your nose and do the baseboards.
Just don't make a mess. Don't take us a step backwards.
Exactly. Just stand there and do nothing. And then, we'll be cleaning, and then afterwards, I'm like, damn, that was a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sweaty.
Yeah.
I just naturally sweat, but all that, knock it out. They do a lot. And then when she comes home, nothing.
Yeah.
No, man, it looks good in here.
Yep.
And then so I bring it up. I'm like, did you not notice the house when you walked in? She goes, you need to thank you for it's your house too.
Yeah. Yeah. Katie does the same thing to me because every time I do something, I'm like, well, did you notice that was done? She's like, you don't have to tell me. I noticed.
Yeah. Here's my perspective on it. If I was to come home, so she's like, well, you come home and you don't thank me for cleaning the house. I'm like, Grant, I understand that, but that's your job to pick up after these little fuckers and myself,
And your job is?
And my job is to do the grinding.
Lay down that wood.
At work, yeah.
Lay down that wood.
Lay down the pipes.
That's right.
Do the plumbing around here. Make sure ain't no clogs. Clean the pipes when necessary. But
clean the musket.
Yeah, my job is the work and the grind. And so the way I put it is, if I was to come home and you're like, hey, honey, I knocked out a couple videos edited for you. I would notice. I'd be, oh my God, thank you so much.
Wait, you're saying if we were together?
No. No, get out of your fantasy world, Jordan. I'm talking about if I was to come home and Whitney had my folders completed on my computer, like all my editing stuff
she did
is
a
done.
video or two.
Yeah, and I go in there and I'm like, oh, where's this video? Oh, it's finished already. Honey, did you do this?
Yeah, you would say something.
I would notice then. I would notice. But that's how I put it in perspective for her. Of course, I'm not going to notice the house is clean all the time. For one, you got problems. You're OCD and the house is always clean.
Yeah. My definition of clean and not clean.
Yeah.
We're not even close to my level of not clean when Katie's around the house.
Whitney will walk around stressed out and she's like, this house is the dirtiest one in the neighborhood. Doubt it. I fucking doubt it. Okay. You got issues. The house is clean. Yeah. I promise. And then, so when she came home, I was like, you notice anything? No. And then, all this hard work I did for nothing. Yeah. It's a little frustrating.
There's Mort's litters all on the floor next to his litter box I haven't done, which is funny because he always talks about how dirty the floors are and I don't notice. But it turns out like a week goes by and there's a lot of Mort just scattering his litter.
Oh, cats are fucking awful.
Yeah.
And we have the pellets, the paper pellets.
Yeah.
Somehow those are supposed to be better. They don't fly everywhere. I don't know if he just gets in there and just turns into like part human. He just clumps them up and just fucking throwing them out. I think my cat just grows fingers and just starts tossing it out like, oh, wait till they see this. But on top of that, he crop dusts me this morning in my fucking closet.
Zeus?
Yes. I see a paw. You ever seen a cat in the door and their paw's kind of coming up under there? I'm like, oh, he's in the closet. So I open the door, being a nice gentleman like as I am. He walks out, but as he walks out, he drops a silent one. So I shut the door.
You didn't hear it?
No.
So you sure it was him?
It wasn't me.
Okay,
I would have felt that, I'm not that gaping down there. I'm not that gaped. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think gaped, yeah.
But yeah, he released the demon and it I thought he shit in my closet.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Mort's been driving me up the wall too. It's just constant need of attention. Like while I'm playing computer games, he'll just like reach up and like tap me on the arm.
Hey, I'm still here. Does Kanie pay him a lot of attention? Is that why you think?
Usually. At night, he sleeps on top of her. So now it's me every night, all night. I'll wake up and he'll just like stand on top of me and like lick me on the forehead.
I like when a cat licks. It feels good, kind of.
Kinda, yeah.
And honestly, surprisingly,
like a scratch.
Yeah, it cleans, like it takes the oil off. It's so weird.
Well, I guess actually they love the oil too.
My old cat, she used to nibble my nose and kind of like use her teeth and bite down, and then she would lick. And then you ever washed your face real good and it's like got that squeaky clean?
No.
Oh,
I never washed my face.
Whenever you do that, it's got that squeaky clean. And then when my cat used to lick me on my face, it would be squeaky clean. Is this after
the nursing or pre-nurse?
This is post-nurse.
Post-nurse, okay.
Yeah. Post-nurse. But yeah, on top of all this crazy stuff, on top of your warlord, Fantasyland, and just being tired and Kanie being gone, Whitney's broke her foot.
Yeah.
She broke her foot.
Yeah, it looks hideous.
She already has some fucked up feet. It looks worse. And her feet are cute, but her toes, I want everybody listening to just hold up your pinky right now, okay? And just look at it. That's all of her toes. All 5 toes except for her big toe. Lengthwise. She's got some long feet. Or long toes,
God, that is not an attractive trait.
But I thought she had slammed a door upstairs, and she didn't. She actually was like running to play hide and seek with me and Leighton. We were on our way up, and I see her like get up and run, but I hear like a loud boom. You know those wood blocks at the bottom of the couches? Yeah. She knocks her toe on that, breaks it. Well, she thought she broke it, but it turned black pretty instant, which kind of would give it away to a normal person.
You told her to suck it up, right?
Yeah, I was like, it's a toe. If it is broke, they're not going to be able to do nothing. Well, it finds out that's a myth, okay? So you could break your toe in 2 different ways. You could break the top part of your toe or the bottom part of your toe. The bottom part of your toe can be fixed with pins and this and that. And honestly, we're not fixing her toe.
Yeah, who cares at this point? They're so ugly, right?
Yeah, they're already fucked up.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe it'll help the back to fix the toe.
Maybe it'll bring out.
But yeah, she knocks it on that wood thing, dude. And she's been in pain. So she ended up going to get an x-ray. It's broke. She's got to go see an orthopedic. And she's in a boot.
Oh, can't get away from you.
No. But when she kicks, some bitch hurts. It hurts. It's not. It is. Last thing I want to bring up is the Hawk Tuohy girl before we even get into the word of the week. What is going up? What was her name? Haley?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the joke, Dan. Can you explain it to me real quick?
Yeah, it's kind of what that first girl did to you back in high school, Or no, I'm saying you as in you all, right?
Oh.
No. Sexually just Hawk Tuohy and spit on that thing, That the first time you ever get a piece of that, you go to just this special place.
It's never happened for me.
You immediately grow your angel wings and float up to the heavens. That's really what happens whenever you first get that Hawk Tuohy.
Okay, sent from God.
Yeah. You grow your angel wings. You grow your wings, and your ass
and she
floats
spits
up
on that thing.
Yeah, you float up to heaven. It's a special place for the Hawk Tuohy people up there because it's a whole new world. It's just like Aladdin says, a whole new world.
Well, you're saying she lost her job?
Yeah, so evidently, if you guys have, surely you've seen her, and if you haven't, we're talking about her now. So whenever you go to Facebook here in a few, she will be there. Mm-hmm. But evidently, she was a preschool teacher. She was in Nashville at some kind of thing. She was supposed to be spreading the word of the Lord, and her dad released
it to me.
Yeah. Her dad released a statement and was like, she's spreading the dirty words out there. And she ended up getting fired from her teaching job. She was a preschool teacher and she was forced to resign.
Did you read what her dad's letter was by any chance? Do you have any idea?
Like what it said?
Yeah.
The statement pretty much I gathered
It's probably
was
boring.
It was pretty simple. It was like, my daughter was supposed to be out there spreading the word of the Lord. But instead, she was out there spreading the dirty words. Yeah, sinning. And she deletes her social media. And I'm thinking, is this bitch crazy? Why delete your social media? You're going to go stupid viral.
She's probably scared as hell.
Probably.
Can you imagine going viral that quickly, that massively?
Yeah.
In the world we live in today?
Yeah. And it could be like one of two ways. People take that meme and make fun. I mean, I'm seeing lubricant cans that people are generating that says Hawk Tuohy with a lubricant spray with white shit dripping out of it.
Ugh.
I mean, I've seen so many memes now. And when I say it could go one of two ways, it could be like something super funny or something really bad.
Yeah.
But there's already music out about it. There's like 3 songs about the Hawk Tuohy girl.
Yeah, that's the internet now. It's all trends. Cool.
And those songs have remixes.
I'll be honest, I think I'm a little over it already. I think I was over it the first day it happened because it blew up so much that it was like, you can't get away from it.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
You can't get away from it once it starts.
It's crazy.
Even people at work are talking to me about it. It's like even if you turn your phone off, it's such like in society.
Dustin at the fire department, he said that, some of the workers there already have like decals on their helmets that say Hawk Tuohy on it. I mean, I don't understand it. And you was talking about before we started, like how entertainment and distractions have just skipped the whole art stuff, and now it's beginning to skip entertainment in itself.
Yeah, people who are like trying to do entertainment for entertainment's sake.
Yeah,
it's not entertaining enough now. Now people have got to see real life psychotic stuff, or just random, but it has to be real life. Weirdly enough,
almost like extremely organic.
Yeah, extremely organic. Which maybe that's a testament to something good. Maybe they're looking for more natural things.
That's pretty natural.
Some natural Hawk Tuohy myself.
Yeah, I'd love to experience some of that. So last night, before me and Whitney went to bed, I was like, "You gonna give me some of that Hawk Tuohy tonight?" And she said, "Only if you rub my leg."
Ugh, so you didn't get it.
I did
went straight to bed. Right?
I did not touch that shit.
Too close to that nasty toe.
All right, guys. Well, now it brings us to my favorite time of the show, and hopefully your favorite time of the show. It's the part where we transition from being young and dumb to middle-aged and halfway smart. I'd love to introduce my best friend with today's word of the week, Mr. Jordan Hunter.
Thank you, Daniel. The word of the week this week is balance, which I started typing more on my Facebook this week, and so balance was one of the things that came to my mind. And I think balance is something that like I look at and I just notice it in like everything now. I think we've talked about it before. It seems like it's the name of the game of life. Balancing things. And so like in music, I see it a lot. I see it with like people talking about moderation with alcohol. Balance seems to be the only way to remain in reality in life. I feel like as soon as you, and I talked about it in my thing, it's like our thoughts are the waves in our heads, right? And they're big waves sometimes it's calm. And if you just become in your thoughts and you become your thoughts, then you end up being part of those huge waves and then those real calm waters and deep valleys. But if you, take a step back and look at your thoughts, right? You become like the more conscious person and you're looking at your thoughts and examining them. You kind of become like the surfer and you kind of can learn to go with it doesn't mean the waves stop. The waves never stop. There's no way to stop the waves, right? The waves always will be high peaks and low valleys. A lot of people think that like when you do this, everything's supposed to calm out, but it's not about calming it. It's about learning to ride the waves. Yeah. And I was thinking, I'm not smart enough to think about it like this, but like physics, like, what's the thing? It's like every reaction gets an opposite reaction, right?
Newton's law. Dun, da, da, da. See, y'all motherfuckers thought I was dumb.
Newton's law. Nice. Is that inertia?
So inertia is the property of matter, but that is momentum. So anything that is forced in motion continues to stay in motion unless stopped by an object, pretty much.
Opposite or equal
reaction.
Force.
Yeah, potentially.
But that's the whole idea of all that is this idea of balance, of pushing and pulling. And it doesn't mean that balance is like you're always right in the very middle, right? It means that you go this way, then you have to balance back this way, right?
Yeah.
Our job is to be the balancees, and we're not the balance.
We're like the middle of the teeter-totter.
Yeah, we're the guy on the teeter-totter.
That makes it even more sense.
The teeter-totter is life, right?
Yeah.
And we're the ones trying to balance it. And sometimes you go this way, sometimes you go that way. And it's all about balancing. And then, with art, sometimes it's talking about like when you're really out of balance. Sometimes it's talking about what it feels like to be that far out of balance. That's your humanity. That's who you are and stuff like that.
Well, I got a little testimony or testament to balance and what we covered last week, chasing your thoughts. I went through it this week. This past, yesterday I kind of told myself I was going to wake up and just forget my thoughts or just like push them to the side because I've really struggled. What is today? Sunday. So like Thursday and Friday. For one, I'm working a lot, which I always am. And I always try to find that balance. And the second I feel like I find the balance and I get behind, and it's not that I'm behind, it's the fact that I see the shit that needs to be done. It doesn't need to be done right now. But in my mind, if it's not finished, I am behind.
Right.
So I've got to figure out a way to not stress on the things that are not done. They don't have to be done right now. And maybe it's just me telling myself that. But I just stress out so easy and extremely bad these past couple of days. Like, if this is not done, it needs to be done. Like, if it's on there and it ain't finished, it needs to be finished. And I'm never going to get to the point to where I will not have nothing on there that needs to be, there's always going to be something on there.
But at the same time, it always gets done.
It always gets done. And so, long story short, and then I start thinking, oh, this isn't done. And then I start thinking, what if YouTube crashes? What's next? If I don't know what's next, me as a person, that's with anything I've ever done. If I don't know what's next, I freak out.
Yeah.
I have to know there's something next. So I'm like trying to talk to Whitney. I'm like, hey, we need to invest this, or we need to start doing this. And she's like, what do you do? And then thank God we have some decent conversations. And when I say we, I mean me and you. I'm editing the audio on Friday, and we get to the point to where we're talking about thoughts and how you were talking about how just, stop chasing your thoughts. And then I'm thinking while I'm editing your audio, I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I'm chasing a fucking thought. I'm not living in the now.
Mm-hmm.
And that fucked me up severely. And I had to like tell myself like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're stressing out about something could be a week from now. It could be 10 years, 15 years from now. You're stressing out about something that is irrelevant to the situation, that's causing me to get more behind on what's supposed to be done. It's causing me to feel some type of way when I'm walking around the house or being in a mood or feeling on edge. The smallest things kind of like get to me or stress me out, like Leighton screaming for no reason drives me up the wall.
Yeah.
It really drove me up the wall the other day because of all this other stuff that I'm stressed out about. And again, thank God we have some decent conversations, because as I'm editing that, I kind of pull myself out of that. And so Saturday when I woke up, I just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
If it's not done, it's not done. What needs to be done today is done.
Yeah.
And that's almost where I'm at now. Yeah. And I'm a little stressed. I haven't filmed my show yet, and it goes out on Tuesday, but it's not Tuesday yet. So there's no need to be worried about it. It will be done. I know for a fact I'm that kind of person that's going to get it done.
Right.
It's going to be done.
Right.
When? Before Tuesday.
Right.
But so I'm trying not to just stress out about it. But that's a true testament to the balance, to the work-life balance. And yesterday I was able to go out and enjoy time with family. My cousin's in from Italy. We went over to their house and cooked out and, just celebrated him being home and spending time with family. And it was good to just not have that stress sitting on my shoulders, to where another day I could have had it sitting on my shoulders and then not enjoyed the moment, the present moment that we've talked about. So yeah, I've been a little fucked up towards the end of the week, but thank God for our simple conversations.
Yeah. The perspective that you talked about, like stopping the cycle of the thoughts, right? For me, that was like the big thing for I get really anxious. You know that about me. And I get really anxious, and that really puts me into like a cycle of thoughts of like, if something's making me worry, I just ruminate. I sit there and I think about that one thing and I replay it over and over and over until basically I lose my mind and I'm stressed now. And learning to break that cycle and just take a step back and look at the thought and be like, well, is it true? Maybe, maybe not. Do I know that it's true? No, I don't know that's true. So if I don't know it's true, why am I having such a heavy reaction?
Yeah.
Like to react to a point to you're stressed or anxious and all that to something that you don't even know is true, might not be true. Who knows? Like, and think about all the things that you've stressed about that never came true.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, like, so the balance of like living in the present moment and the future and the past, all these things are important, but there has to be a balance there. Yeah. And so it seems like you might live a little too far in the future sometimes, that it stresses you out when you don't know what the next thing is, right? Well, maybe the present moment's the only time you can take action to do anything. So in that moment, can you do something about it? If not, then maybe it's better to just relax.
Right. Yeah.
Because then when you get to that moment to be able to do it, you're relaxed. And now you have your energy. You're not stressed. You're not all these other awful emotions that are going to hinder the work later.
Or sleep deprived. There's plenty of times where I'm like, oh, this needs to be done now. I got to stay up till 2 or 3.
Right.
Last night I needed to finish editing a video that went up today. And instead, I told Whitney, I was like, I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch TV with you.
Yeah.
And go to bed at a decent time. I woke up early this morning, knocked it out. I was ready to go. It's up. It's,
You feel good about that.
I feel good about it. But a week ago or a couple days ago, I would have been like, I need to get this finished before I go to bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I've really worked hard.
Well, you feel like you can't get really good sleep if it's not done, right? Like it's sitting there. So like, as you're laying down, that's all that's in your head.
So that's why it's important to sleep meditate, like we talked about on the last episode.
Yeah. I think that's good, though. Just the fact that you're breaking the cycle of the thoughts, right? And noticing it. I feel like that's something that, like, I can't believe it's taken me this long to, like, kind of just understand that. Like, like it's so weird. Like all these things, it's like all these things I've heard a million times in my life that you and I talk about. But it's like, unless I talk about it with someone else, it never like registers. Yeah. Like it always was like in one ear, right out the other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and I feel like I always wonder all the time. I'm like, are we the only people who's like don't understand this, and everyone's just looking at us like, Jesus?
No, I think it puts it in perspective that not only you go through these issues, but someone else goes through these issues, right. And like someone you can relate to, maybe that makes it a little bit easier to understand. Maybe hearing it from somebody else or a different perspective through somebody else, also it kind of resonates with you a lot better. Just like your parents have told you 1,000 times that this is wrong, doing this is wrong, or doing a certain way is wrong. But until you actually do it and figure it out that it's wrong, then it's wrong.
Yeah, it's like knowing that is like, it's like in your subconscious. It's like in you. It's not something that like you remember, It's so weird because like school feels like it trained me to like, what you remember is what you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, not really. It's like subconscious level of like an understanding of how it all works together, that I feel like when I talk about these things sometimes with people, they're always they're like, yeah, of course that's what vulnerability means. It's like, yeah, but like, do you like feel like what vulnerability means? Have you felt that feeling of vulnerability and known that's what that feels like and understood it? Because I didn't until a couple years, like a year, not even a year ago at this point.
Right.
And I feel like we are trained so much to just like know what something means in like our heads, but we never understand it with our experience. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And that's like where the thought thing is like, all the time we think of like smart people, and it's like, they're just people with good thoughts, which is great. But as I've learned, it's not everything. And people who are in their thoughts too much sometimes are driving themselves insane.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not the best qualities to be a smart person. Honestly, it's a well-balanced person who's emotionally inept, a person who understands themselves, understands how the world works, which is wisdom more than it's like intellect, right? Because your IQ is kind of like your brain thought process, but wisdom's just like an understanding of, I don't know.
The same applies for money too. Like you could have all the money in the world and still be broke and miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've heard it that way. But you were talking about like it fitting in your subconscious. That's why I think it's so important to talk to the youth, talk to my kids, talk to Cadence, that these things that I'm learning, I'm sitting in her subconscious. Yeah. It may go in one ear and out the other, but she's hearing it. But that's also where self-education comes in handy, because then you get curious when you get older, in your 30s or whatever, or at least we did. And then you go to do some self-education. At some point in your life, you've kind of heard some of these self-educated things
Seeds
that you're
planted.
learning. Yeah. And then it starts to resonate. And then not only is the seed planted, it starts to bloom and blossom and then turn into something beautiful.
And as soon as you notice that it's grown over a short time, you're like, there is something there.
Exactly.
It's not just a seed under the dirt anymore. Now I can see something sprouting, and now I can see in the future how this could turn into a tree, And I think at that point where it's like the idea of like, we talk about purpose, seeing like a light. It's like a light that you see that's like, this is real. This is reality. This is something that I can grab a hold to that's bigger than me.
Right.
That's not in my head. This is something that's grounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can do that with yourself, like planting seeds inside yourself that you want to plant. I think that's kind of what intention is.
Yeah.
It's planting something that's like, I want to be this type of person. So I know thinking this way does that. Do I feel that way right now while thinking that way? Not really. I'm still kind of my old self. I don't know where it comes from, either my child experience or trauma or something. But I can plant this seed to be this person in the future. And the more you plant that seed and the more you water it, the more you become it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to fertilize it too.
You got to fertilize it. You got shit all over it.
And what I would recommend to fertilize it is to remind yourself, listen to something that, describes what you're planting, whether that's integrity, whether that's vulnerability. The fertilization of that seed is reading more into it, learning a little bit more, I feel like.
Yeah, I just listened to the same book on repeat now. I listened to that Wherever You Go, There You Are book.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on my second listen through.
Is that
right
a Dr.
now.
Seuss book?
Yeah, the rhyme schemes they are really good.
Sounds good. But yeah, balance. It's tough, and it's something that you're always going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about it.
Yeah.
Balance is never balanced. You're constantly working to keep that balance. You may get a little tired one day and it go this way, and then you got to adjust and make it go this way. That's the sucky part.
I see a lot of
the trick.
A lot of people, it's like they want to force change a lot of the times, and it's that thing with balance. Balance is there's no forcing the waves. You can't push the wave down.
Yeah.
You just have to learn to it's a feeling. You stay with it. You don't try to force it to be different. You ride it, and you learn to ride the wave.
Yeah.
You just learn that. You don't try to force change. You don't try to. I see so many people want to always be inspired and always be motivated and all. Life is an endurance game. Balance is all about endurance. It's not about force or power or strength. It's a longevity thing.
Yeah.
And the harder you push, the earlier you might end up in the grave, to be honest.
Yep. I might not wake up tomorrow. That's what I've realized.
And I may live 1,000 years.
Yeah. With your disease. With your, what do we
with my
call it?
low work ethic.
And low testosterone.
My low testosterone.
Not sweaty.
Yeah.
No sweat, no test.
Yeah.
But
my frail bones.
It sucks. Life's hard. Balance is tough. But you can do it.
Yeah.
I've done it. There's plenty of times where I go out of balance, but I figure out a way, and it may be a day or two where I'm off balance.
Yeah.
But then I readjust. So you can do it if you're listening.
Humans are resilient.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about us.
Yeah.
I'm a resilient in a lot of things.
Taking it up the ass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't a compliment.
I feel like that wrestler who does, I think his name's LA Knight, who's like, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll pop him up. I have no idea who you're talking about. I didn't grow up redneck, Daniel.
No, neither did I, but there's a little bit of redneck in all of us here down south.
Down south, huh?
Well, now guess what we bring to? We bring to my part of the show. The thing that just pisses me off, I tell you, this has just made me so mad. It literally makes me want to set my house on fire.
Okay.
Not flood it.
Okay. Oh.
Not tear it down. Set this bitch on fire. I actually want to buy a flag that says fuck the HOA. To be honest with you.
Hang it out front.
Hang it out front. But this segment we like to call
What Twists Our Nips. What twists your nips, Daniel?
these fucking HOA people. They can kiss. They can make an asshole shape with their lips and fucking kiss my ass. That's how pissed off I am. Listen.
What'd they do?
I don't know if you've ever lived in an HOA. We live in an HOA. And, frankly, some HOAs are great. They put in rules and regulations for a reason. Grass height has to be a certain inch.
Oh, God.
Yeah. This is like a standard. Grass has to be a certain height. Your flowers out front and landscaping need to be presentable. You have to have landscaping.
Are people not raising hell over this? I feel like this is like an impedance on freedom.
Oh, no fucking kidding. Well, that's why. And whenever 2 years is up, I'm out this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm moving because I don't have to pay some kind of penalty tax or something. So, like, if you buy a house, you have to live in it for at least 2 years and 1 day. Or, especially if you finance the home, or you have to pay this, I can't think of the word, but there's a tax you pay, and it's like 10% of what your home is valued at.
Jesus.
It's a big check.
It's some fucking corporations pocketing that,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. Or you just suck it up, stick it out for the 2 years and 1 day, and then sell your shit and go on.
Yeah.
But
Fuck
these
the
people
HOA.
here, dude, I can't stand them. We have a Facebook group. They're keyboard warriors.
Oh, God.
It reminds me of elementary, middle, and high school all in one fucking grade. It's so petty. People say one thing in the Facebook group, but then when you see them walking their god dang poodle out front, they're just like, hello.
God.
And I just want to throw one of my fucking rocks at them.
Those people aren't conscious, dude.
I can't
So what's
stand
the
it.
new rule? They made a new rule. Is that what pissed you off?
Well, I think it's just the rules in general. You know,
Starting to get to you.
The kids they don't want them playing in the street, but they also don't want to build a park or a playground for the kids. They don't want the kids playing basketball in the street, but yet instead of making the basketball a basketball court out here, the basketball court a basketball court, they turned it into a pickleball court. This isn't a fucking retirement village.
Yeah.
Okay,
Who's playing pickleball over there? Anyone? Does anyone play?
I mean, some people do play, a lot of older people, but this is a family neighborhood. It's
yeah.
not an old person's neighborhood. Like,
what a
it's
way to discourage children from going outside.
Yeah, no fucking kidding. And Cadence has gotten the cops called on her probably 2 or 3 times.
Who calls the cops on kids?
From playing in the road near somebody's car that should be, by the HOA laws, parked in the driveway when the driveway's empty.
I can guarantee that those people complain on the internet about kids not going outside enough and stuff like that, and then they're the type of person who also calls the cops when they're bothered by children.
Oh, it is insane. Or like if someone walks through their yard, which I don't want people walking through my yard, but I'm not going to post a video of the kid doing it. I'm just going to be like, why is that little fucker walking through my yard? You know?
Yeah.
Posting a video of him on the group page and be like, whose kid is this? Can you please tell him not to walk through my yard? I'm not doing that.
It's like 1,000 dicks.
I'm not going to post a picture of dog shit in my yard because someone forgot to pick it up. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. What is people doing?
You know what I thought about doing? Taking a picture of my middle finger in my yard and say, hey, someone has dropped a ton of these. If you don't mind, if you don't mind, come pick them up as you pass by.
You should just go take a shit in someone's backyard.
Another thing, the trash can out front. You cannot have your trash can visible from the road. So what a lot of people do is,
oh God,
then put this in perspective. Here's your trash can. Here, okay, here's your trash can.
This is why people should.
A lot of people, here's my house, here's my trash can. A lot of people build a fence kind of like to block their trash can from this way, right? Well, if you're looking straight at the house, you can't see the trash can. But if you're coming this way from the street, you can see the side of the trash can. So now the people are having to build a wall here and here to make a L to where you can't visibly see your trash can from the road.
Oh my God.
It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And then these people who write these HOA laws, it's almost like, what is the Kim Jong-un? What's his name? Over there?
Kim Jong-un.
But what is that kind of government style? A dictatorship?
Yeah.
That's what these motherfuckers, they don't vote on nothing. They just come up with these rules without the homeowners.
How is that a thing, though?
Yeah, because they're the president. They don't have to.
Who are they? Do they live in the neighborhood?
They do live in the neighborhood.
No one voted on them being the president.
They voted on them, but now they don't have anything in the clause. Like, so with our presidential people here in the United States, like every 4 years, you have to reelect.
Nothing.
There's nothing in the clause or papers that say in 4 years we have to reelect. It's pretty much saying, hey, this motherfucker's the president till they don't want to be the president no more. How does that work?
They'll run people out of their own neighborhood.
Yeah,
then.
No kidding. It's happening. There's houses going up for sale every day here.
I wonder though if it's like this thing that's like they borderline are almost encouraging people to leave. That way, new people come in and move in, and they make even more money in the neighborhood from a new couple moving in or something.
It's ridiculous.
It's like they don't want to encourage people living here the rest of their lives.
So
you know,
yeah.
They don't want to encourage that because there's more money to be made not having people live here forever.
Your neighborhood should be a friendly, welcoming environment. That's why you live in a neighborhood, right?
It should be like when you buy a house, it should be like you're going to live here for the rest of your life is the feeling of it. If you don't want to, that's fine also.
Right.
But like it should be like under
I'm
this
gonna
understanding
be here for a long time.
Yeah, you're going to be here a long time. You bought a house.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it should be treated like that. Like families should be welcome. We should know our neighbors. We should be welcoming. We should I don't know, have a trash can on the existing in the world.
Yeah. So people can throw away their fucking trash.
Yeah.
But my thing is, it's like, and you know, I get it to a certain extent. You don't want, like, if you allow basketball goals out front, you know, I've lived places where you have some nice basketball goals and some well-kept areas who take care of it. And then you have these rinky-dink basketball goals, you know, and if everybody does it, then it just becomes clutter and it looks rough.
I still think that you wait till it becomes that before you say something.
Yeah, for sure. Or, you know, show some grace. But my thing is buildings, for example, so our HOA used to be ran by a property management people until a certain amount of, so your neighborhood's this big.
Yeah.
Well, houses that were built were only in this small part of the neighborhood. Until your neighborhood establishes a certain percentage, then the homeowners now become the HOA.
I get what you're saying.
So some of these rules have kind of passed down, but they had the opportunity to change some of them. Well, they didn't change any of them, and they added more. For example, buildings that are out back, like storage sheds and stuff. Some people have had storage sheds here for 5 years, and it's never been an issue that they may not match the home. Now, in the new HOA laws, if you have a red storage shed and you have a white and black home, you have to get rid of your storage shed.
They don't have like a rule where it's like what's it called? Where you
like you're grandfathered in.
Yeah, grandfathered in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't even get on this Facebook.
Dude. I wouldn't fucking
I don't even get on this Facebook post and like rebuke, is that, or like engage in any of it. I just think to myself, where is the grandfather rule? Like, this dude has had this shed for 5 years. It's never been an issue. Why does he got to take it down now?
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't be paying any money because you made some new rule.
I would fuck off. I would say fuck off. So our neighbor over here, he was like, I'm not trying to be nosy, but, you know, I just don't want y'all to get fined. I knew exactly what he was talking about. He's talking about my basketball goal that's out front. Well, if people mind their fucking business, they would understand that my basketball goal's broke, okay? We got it set out on the road for Scott's Waste to pick up. If it's not set out on the road, they ain't going to pick it up. It's gone now. They've picked it up. But just the nosiness of that stuff, and everybody's in everybody's business. Everybody has something to say, you know, on the Facebook group, but nobody wants to confront anybody at their front door.
Yeah. You know, the thing I've been thinking about a lot this week is how like people's opinions, because I think I've realized about myself, I have an issue with like validation. Like I want validation from other people. I think I'm a people pleaser of sorts. And the thing I've realized is like how many people I've met in my life who actually probably do think that I'm like either some loser or I'm an asshole or whatever. And I realize how much I look at other people and think that sometimes too. And all we are doing is seeing glimpses of people. And then our own experiences, we're coloring this entire person's life with that one experience of them, linking it to something that someone else probably did, and then connecting those two people together. And now you're that person kind of in our heads. Dude, you just can't care anymore. Yeah. Like you literally, everyone, there's someone out there who thinks every single person's an asshole or a moron or a loser or a waste of space. And it's just like, that's how you have to accept the world now. And maybe it's always been like that. And we just probably were a little ignorant to it, but it's so in your face now that like with the internet that people will just comment anything they want about you.
Oh yeah.
There's always someone, and really it's their problem. It's their problem that they don't realize that they're that judgmental. Yeah. That they're just judging someone off of a glimpse of who they are. Yeah. And everyone is assholes. We're not perfect people. Everyone is an asshole. Every human being. We're all selfish.
Somebody comment on a video of me acting like Leighton, and they said, what a fucking disgrace. A grown-ass man acting like a toddler. What a waste of life. Nothing pisses me off more than seeing this on the internet. It was literally verbatim that. And all I could do was laugh and say, like,
it's about them.
I did say something. It's clearly about them. But I said, clearly you don't know our family, nor have you followed our story to understand why we do what we do. And you're letting this one, I said exactly what you said. You're letting this one video skit. You know, base your whole fucking paragraph off of who I am. Yeah. I'm just a piece of shit, retarded ass, grown ass man.
Yeah. It's insane. The more I think about how much I did it to other people too. And then that's what this past week I've been thinking about, like all the little things I've done in my life where I've been assholes to whoever, right? And the person maybe went and told another person about that, what I did that. And then, you know, now that person who never even saw that one glimpse that other person saw now has an opinion about me, who might even tell someone else about that. It's just insane. And the only solution, I think, is to see that in yourself, to see that we are all capable of being that person. Yeah. And the only way to cure it is to be conscious that you're part of the problem as well.
Have some vulnerability.
And just be honest with yourself that you're an asshole. You're an asshole.
Yeah, fuck off.
Mom. The only one who's got to this point of the episode.
So someone posted a picture of the trash can cover. Like, you could buy a cover for your trash can or build these walls. Well, someone in a HOA on another website built a wooden fence, but they carved the wood fence post to make it look like a middle finger. And that's what was blocking their trash can. It was fucking hysterical. I was like, God, I need to do that. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
Just to say fuck the HOA. Or hang a flag that says fuck the HOA. Whitney's like, well, how are you going to get away with that? I said, I'll change my name to like Harold Oberhelman, Associates. And then I just love to fuck.
I love to fuck. Yeah. Come over here. Fuck me.
That's one way to get away with it. Jesus Christ. Jeez. That's what twists my lips this week. I've dealt with it all week long, especially since we got the new, we got a letter in the mail talking about the trash cans. If you get this letter, just know that there's a potential fine if you don't have this, taken care of within X amount of days. If you do have some plans, let us know in the group, Facebook group, that you're getting it, worked on, and you're getting this fence built to block your trash can.
I'm surprised there's not like rednecks raising hell about this.
Some
like in Kentucky,
some people do. There's so many people in the neighborhood that think these motherfuckers are stupid.
Good.
But then I feel like it's just a bunch of Karens. It's a bunch of older women who,
don't have kids.
That ain't fucking.
They ain't fucking. They need to fuck the HOA over here.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Come on
Come
down.
on down.
Pull a ticket, baby. Or what? Not pull a ticket. Take a number.
Take a number.
Jesus Lord. Well, I guess that's all I got for today, man. It's been a good episode. I love the fact that you brought up balance, and I love how it kind of incorporates balance this week into chasing our thoughts last week, because that's what I've been doing towards the end of this week. I've really got myself fucked up for no reason, and now I've kind of realized, hey, it's time to pull myself out of it, and I'm ready to go.
And you said something about like trying to trying to force yourself, and I don't think there's anything you need to do with forcing it. I think just pulling yourself into that perspective outwards and looking at your thoughts, because those thoughts do mean something. And maybe all it really does mean is that your head's too far in the future, and then maybe you need to come back to the present. And that's all. And I don't think there needs to be any force, because our thoughts are important. They tell us a lot about who we are and what we feel. And maybe I think a lot of them, when we have like really bad feelings, are born in like insecurity and fears. It seems like deep rooted ones. Like my validation, I think, is born from like when I was in middle school. I feel like girls, it's like they kind of liked me, but then they always liked the guys that were just smoother. And so, like, I
had a little bit more muscle, a little less nerdy.
Well, actually, I was a baller in middle school. I was a baller, and I actually wasn't a nerd until I got older.
Yeah, that's true.
But then I didn't have like the social skills. Really, I didn't know how to talk to a girl. I had all brothers. I was the youngest of all brothers.
You had good looks.
I
think so.
A normal looking white boy. Yeah.
You weren't normal. He was white.
I was white.
Really white, but not normal.
But yeah, so and I think I just have like that validation of just like wanting people to like me, because I always wanted that really badly, and I forget where I was going with that, but yeah, I think that it's important to not force these feelings, because I think these thoughts mean a lot about us, and to examine them. And it's just a perspective change.
Yeah.
Take us to step back and look at the thoughts, because you aren't your thoughts. That's not who we are.
Right.
I think when I think of what we are, is we are consciousness. We are the present moment is all we really are. We're as the book I read is, we're the universe's way of looking back at itself. We're experiencing this. Our body's not us, really. It's part of us. We're embodied in it. But we're like, it is weird. It's like we're spirits or something, dude. I don't know. Maybe I smoke too much pot.
I'm tracking, but
I just trying to understand, like, who are you, Daniel?
Yeah.
Who are you? If I asked you that.
That's a good question. I mean, I can only just base who I am off of what I think I am or what I think I've accomplished or done.
That's just thoughts. That's
Yeah.
your thoughts, though. But when I say your thoughts, who's the your in that? Your thoughts.
Me.
Yeah, but what's your? Who is you? Are who's you?
Who's me? I'm a 34-year-old,
That's just your age.
beautiful.
That's your age. Yeah,
Looking
that's your
man.
looks.
I am.
That's an identity
powerful.
of what you are. Okay. All right, now that's just the quality you have. But who are you?
Yeah, it's a good question.
And I think when I've thought about that more and more, I think what I am is just like this consciousness that's experiencing all this.
You
spirit.
just said you think, so that's a thought.
Touche. Oh no, there's the loop. Yeah, but
That's just a rabbit hole.
But that's the point. Is I think that when I think the future and the past, all that is thinking a lot of the time. That's why the present moment is the only real moment because it's the only thing that's happening
right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
it's the only
sense.
thing. It's here, and then it's in here, and here, and now, and everything else is just past and future.
Yeah.
And who I am is the only time I'm here is right now. Is who I am.
There was a song I was going to sing, but I don't remember the lyrics. It was like "Who I Am Hates Who I've Been" or "Who I Am."
Oh, Reliant K.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Good band.
Good band. Well, next week's going to be a fun one. We're going to check back in with Jordan and see how
Doing a mushroom experience this week. So I'm just kidding.
how his week's been going. Fiance free.
Yeah,
And hopefully, no one comes over here trying to start some shit from the HOA because they're going to learn today.
We'll see if I can keep my life in balance.
Yeah, me
And,
too.
and-
I really, something I'm really working on. And that's why I'm trying to plan something next week for the family and for the kids to where it's like, I am forced to withdraw. You know what I mean? Like planning my priorities.
I heard the word forced, and I didn't like that, Daniel.
Planning my priorities to just unplug and spend the present moment once it arrives.
Yeah.
Hopefully we make it to that day.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the present moment to arrive as well.
Yeah. Well, whether we're sitting here, looking great or just talking about the fantasy world or fucking our HOA members, just remember, I'm Daniel.
I'm Jordan.
And we're
Daniel and Jordan.
Fuck you, HOA.
Latro.